drugs, and alcohol.
All you gotta do is make us hear you. And all that is one word, and the word is help.
A team of researchers has spent the last year searching the nation for extraordinary prevention and treatment programs. What they found are some remarkable local efforts ready to be adopted nationally, one community at a time. We begin with prevention and some ingenious ways of keeping kids off drugs and alcohol. Later, Whitney Houston will guide you through the efforts to recover some of our children who might seem beyond help. But as you will see, there is always hope.
How many of you have seen drug activity on the street? How many have you seen vials of crack on the ground?
Last year, there were over 20,000 drug-related arrests in the Bronx. And over 1,000 of those arrests involved the sale of narcotics within one block of a school. As part of an ongoing effort to protect children who pass the temptations of drugs and drug dealers every day, the Bronx district attorneys and Lehman College nurses have come up with a plan. In a brilliantly simple program called PLAN, Pupils, Lawyers, and Nurses Against Drugs, kids confront the legal and medical consequences of doing drugs. Session 1 starts in the classroom, but this is just the beginning.
The first week we go to the school and we just find out what they know about drugs in general before they go through the program. What type of drug activity have you seen on the street?
My uncle got shot in the leg.
Because of drugs, people that were involved in drugs?
They threw this kid off a building because he didn't pay the drug dealers.
Has anybody ever tried to convince you to take drugs? Has anybody gone through that?
Yes, this kid, he pulled the gun on my head and told me to smoke marijuana. And I told him no, and I ran away.
It's alarming how much they've seen already at ages 9 and 10. Some adults have not even seen these types of things, and these kids are well aware of what's going on. I like to do a little skit, you know, to act out an undercover buy and bust. Okay, go ahead. For some of the kids that are surrounded by drugs because there's a possibility that someone in their family is using, or they have members of their family that have been arrested for drugs, to them it's normal.
My sister used drugs. She's nice, but I think the drug is messing her life up now. That was my best sister.
All right, you're under arrest. Okay, have a seat, have a seat. You have a seat. Thank you.
The second week of PLAN's prevention program brings the children to nearby Lincoln Hospital, where the infant intensive care unit provides one of the most unforgettable experiences of their young lives.
Okay, come on. These are the very, very sick babies. These are the sickest of all the babies. Okay? We don't know which ones, but some of them may have been hurt because their moms were taking drugs. By exposing the children to a tour of babies that are addicted to crack, then they realize then they become vulnerable themselves. We can talk about what babies look like when they're addicted, the fact that the babies shake and they're small, but to actually see these little live things, they're really sort of shocked in a sense of not prepared to see the reality.
Why is that baby right there doesn't have like hair right there like that?
Their hair has been shaved off in order for them to start a peripheral IV line.
What's that?
That's to give the baby fluids. The baby cannot get fluids through the mouth, so we give fluids through the vein.
It's not a scare tactic to show them the babies. I think it's just a tactic to show them the realities of what could happen. I think one hospital we went to, we saw a baby that could fit in the palm of your hand. The baby was like a pound. And to just see the expression of the children when they see it, it's just horrifying.
Look at that, that's so sad.
It just brings all kinds of emotions in them that they already have. It's just a matter of letting them recognize the emotions that they're feeling and why they're feeling them.
Seeing crack in his baby makes you angry. It's not their fault. The baby shouldn't suffer. The parents should. Because if the parents wasn't using drugs, the kids won't even be in the hospital. It made me cry because it's not their fault.
Do you see the individual that you referred to as Franklin Tracy in the courtroom here today?
Yes, I do.
The third week, we bring them here to the courthouse in Bronx County, and they see an actual drug trial. They see someone who has been arrested for selling drugs.
Okay. Would you tell the members of the jury what, if anything, you found on Franklin Tracy that night?
In his left pants cup, I found 4 files, red top of alleged crack.
And importantly enough, they see the defendant, and they get to see his or her reaction as to being someone who is now stands accused of a drug crime.
In a very judicious arrangement, money confiscated from drug dealers pays for the modest cost of plan. For the 600 kids who benefit from this program each year, it works out to about $50 a child, or the profit from the sale of 1 gram of cocaine.
I believe that some of the children do glorify the drug dealers. You know, they like the fact that they wear the newest fashions and the expensive sneakers that are coming out now. But at the same time, they recognize the way that these drug dealers are getting those things.
All rise, this court is now in session. Honorable Justice Hill presiding.
In the 4th session, the children act out the roles of a trial.
Prosecution, call your first witness.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I do.
They also act as the jurors, and they make the decision on the guilt or innocence of the defendant that stands accused. They get to ask the questions, they get to present the evidence, and they get to make the ultimate decision on whether or not someone is guilty or innocent as far as drugs are concerned.
Members of the jury, have you reached your verdict?
Yes, we have.
What is your verdict?
We have found the defendant, Norman Bates, guilty.
Sometimes they only get like 10 or 15 years. That isn't nothing. They should get 25 to 50.
Be a long time in jail, though.
Yeah. So there won't be drugs on the street for a long time.
We're not saying we could solve the problem with a 4-week program, but by reaching these kids at age 9 and 10 before they start really glorifying the drug dealer, it's a start.
There is nothing in the world that can make me go into drugs. If they say use drugs or they'll kill me, I'd rather them to kill me than to use it.
So when somebody goes up to them and says, do you want to try some drugs? Maybe they'll remember me saying something to them. Maybe they'll remember one of the babies that they saw in the hospital. Maybe they'll remember the trial that we had in the courtroom or the visit to the school where we did the mock trial with the drug bust. And if one child gets away and, you know, gets through it, then it's a success for us.
In addition to lawyers and nurses in the Bronx, 2 Canadian filmmakers are using their skills to help young people through an international nonprofit effort called Animaction, Awareness Through Animation. In 2-day workshops, students of all ages create their own imaginative anti-drug messages. Their assignment? What would you tell your 10-year-old brother or sister about drugs?